Today's headline is Great Fire of 1787. The subheadline says, Boston visited by a scorcher more than 100 years ago. Population was then 15,000. It says, Boston's Great Fire of 1787, great for that day with its population of something like 15,000, broke out on the evening of April 19th in William Pittman's Malt House in Beach Street and spread with great rapidity in a southerly direction, taking in both sides of Washington Street from Elliott to Common Street on the east. The town had almost recovered from the effects of the disastrous fire of 1767, and the inhabitants had implicit faith in the efficiency of the newly organized fire department. They never dreamed that another such scene as they had witnessed at the time could be repeated in the town of Boston. The following letter, written by Dr. Belknap to his friend Mr. Hazard, is the most interesting and authentic account of the fire extant. Now, my dear sir, I will give you some account of the fire of Friday evening. I could, as is usual in such cases, tell you of what I did, where I went, and how I worked, and waited for the dock at low water and all that. But I believe a general account with a small plan or sketch will be as much as you will want to have. I was on the spot the next day and with my pencil marked its progress, a copy of which I will enclose. The wind was a dry northeaster and had prevailed 2 days. The houses, with only one or two exceptions, were wooden and shingled. It began in a malt house, and had there been no wind, the malt and dwelling house adjoining would have silently consumed without further mischief, and about 100 legs of bacon that were taken to smoke would have been all the general damage. But the wind carried the flakes of the fire over the dock into some barns and dock houses adjoining to the main street, and so rapid and irresistible was its progress that between 6 and 7 o'clock in the evening it destroyed between 70 and 80 dwelling houses, with Mr. Ebenezer White's rectory of the Hollis Street Church, as far as there was anything to be burned. And had the town extended 10 or 20 miles in that direction, and wooden houses in the way, dry as they were, the fire would have been equally as extensive. No lives were lost, though much substance. Dr. Byles' house was in imminent danger. His hoards of books, instruments, papers, prints, etc., were dislodged in 1 hour from a 50-year quietness to a helter-skelter heap in an adjoining pasture. He removed for the night to a neighbor's house and returned the next day. This morning I made him a third visit since the fire. One of his daughters observed that her papa was the first thing they thought of moving. Upon this, he began to distinguish between persons and things, and would have brought in a long criticism if I had not changed the discourse to some inquiries about the great fire in the year 1711, which he remembered. You know he is a curiosity. April 25th, by an account taken by the selectmen, the loss sustained by the fire was 56 dwellings, 13 stores, a meeting house, 8 barns, and 86 families burnt out. Loss of property in round numbers, $20,000. Much praise was given to the inhabitants of Charlestown, Roxbury, Dorchester, Milton, Cambridge, and Medford for their very spirited and cheerful assistance with their engines on this occasion. The light given by the fire was so great that at Watertown a person's countenance could be plainly distinguished at a considerable distance, and the light of the fire was also seen at Holliston, 3 miles distant. One result of the fire was to entail a great amount of hardship and suffering, and on the following Sunday, committees of the several churches in the town set on foot subscriptions, and the large sum subscribed told of Boston's benevolence and liberality. Among others who contributed to the fund was General Lafayette, who no sooner heard the news than he wrote a letter of sympathy for Boston, and directed Samuel Beck to pay 200 guineas on his account to the sufferers. A petition was sent to the General Court for relief, and several thousands of dollars were appropriated by that body. This story came from the great state of Massachusetts, being reported in the Boston Sunday Globe of May 12, 1901. Thank you for joining us today. If you want to continue to uncover all of America's lost and forgotten history, then remember before you leave to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and remember to like and comment below. And we will see you next time on Americana Archives.